October 26th, Winnipeg heads to the polls to elect its new mayor. 11 candidates will be on the ballot with a vision of how they will lead Winnipeg for next 5 years. 8 candidates have accepted our invitation to convey their plans and promises. My name is Zuher Almusre and this is Civic Platform. Clacio is once again running for public office. Clacio is running on 3 priorities: regional cooperation, system change, and to expand and rebrand the Office of Public Engagement.
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Clacio. Just let everyone know some background history about me. This isn't my first time trying to run for public office. Back in 2014, I also tried running to become mayor as well, but did not have enough of the resources at that time, and so decided to run as a school trustee. And that was one of the greatest opportunities for me as a young person at that time to really be a part of that civic process. And that's the main reason why I wanted to run in the first place, was just to see more individuals like me at that age be engaged. And there was always an apathy, a stereotype about young people not being engaged in the civic process. And I really wanted to challenge that idea. And so I started working with urban indigenous young people in the inner city and for almost 8 years. And in 2018, I ran for mayor again, but sadly did not get enough signatures. But that was the best opportunity for me to really commit and say, I'm actually committed to running for public office, not just 4 years, but many years to come. And so I made a vow back in 2014 that I would run for public office for 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026, and 2030. And so, as you can tell, I'm still in this for the long haul, win or lose. And I have 3 priorities when I become the mayor of the city of Winnipeg. One is regional coordination. So here in Manitoba, we have the Capital Region Partnership Act of 2006, which essentially means that 17 municipalities outside of the city of Winnipeg must work together to coordinate for city services. I'm a big believer that the region is one of the key aspects to get local economic development really be the forefront of how we attract businesses here in Manitoba. I believe we can get Tesla, Apple to be headquarters here in Manitoba. I'm a big believer that those tech companies are gonna be the call to the world that Winnipeg is a city that really loves to innovate and to create a better world that's thinking about the future. And with the pandemic, I think we really need to refocus on local economic development. And I believe the region is that place. Second is systems change. So one of my platform commitments is the creation of a provincial constitution. Here in Canada, we have the Constitutional Act of 1982, which creates a jurisdiction of provincial and federal governments. Municipalities are a different level of government. And so we don't have the same autonomy or freedom as higher levels of government. And so that is also an opportunity for the city to become advocates and educate citizens about what is the role of municipal government in a political landscape that is so focused on provincial politics and federal politics. And I believe the provincial constitution is the starting point to really build in this idea of what reconciliation means to working with urban indigenous young people and indigenous peoples in Manitoba. This will allow us to work with MKO and the Southern Chiefs organizations who represent hundreds of reserves in Manitoba to be part of the civic process and to really put the city and the region as the uh, organization that brings all levels of government, no matter what sector they belong to be at the table. And lastly, my reason for running for public office is to see an office of civic engagement. One of my commitments is to change the or expand and rebrand the office of public engagement. Not many people know that we actually do have an office of public engagement, and they do consultations. I actually attended all 5 of the police reform funding models for the city, and it was a really great opportunity for me to learn how the city actually budgets their police force budget. And it's the same process that all departments in the city have to go through. So it's not unique to the police. And I think as a mayor, my responsibility is to educate citizens to understand how systems work. And so one of my commitments is to create a 4-year participatory budget process, which essentially means that here in the city of Winnipeg, the way the city does their budgeting process is that they have to focus on the capital budgets and the operational budgets. The operations is your labor costs, and their capital costs are your one-time purchases. For example, construction projects. I want to see the city direct $2 million to each city councillor to be funded through this 4-year participatory budget process. And so this will actually give more power to local citizens of that city council's ward. I think these 3 commitments and vows that I have made will make Winnipeg not just a world leader in the country, but in the world. We were called the heart of the continent. I believe that the city of Winnipeg, Manitoba, we are the center of the entire world, and that we are the heart of the world. And if we are unhealthy, then I believe that the whole world is unhealthy. And so we really need to support everyone, because we are all in this together. We are coming out of a post-COVID world, and we really need to really value relationships and value the people in our lives. And that's why I'm running, because I believe that this city can do so much.
Head to winnipeg.ca for further details on candidates and voting information. This is Zuher Almusre, and this is Civic Platform. Thank you for watching.